Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And in today's video, I'm going to take you through how I've been taping off the bottom of my cups lately. I get a lot of questions on this. You guys ask me why I haven't been finishing the bottoms and how I'm not finishing the bottoms. So we're going to go over all of that in this video. I know I've been saying that I would do this tutorial again and again and again. I haven't had the time. I've been having so much fun just making fun designs and I haven't been wanting to get too much into technical videos. So I hope you guys like this video. I'm going to have all the products that you see listed and linked down below in the description box. You might even find some discount codes for you there as well. So that's enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, you guys, so we're going to start by prepping our cup. I'm using an Icy Steel 20-ounce Chatanga from Craft Haven, and we're going to tape off our bottom. I've got some black electrical tape here, and I'm just going to run this along the bottom rim. Doesn't really matter how straight you got it because I'm going to line it up here in just a moment. The only thing we want to look out for at this step is that the tape is laying flat against the bottom of the cup. Then I'm going to run it through my edge trimmer, and this is how you can get a nice crispy edge on that tape without having to line the tape up against a marker line or anything else. It's just going to trim that tape up nice and straight, exactly how you want it. And this is also why you want the tape on the very bottom of the cup to be laying flat so it doesn't affect how this runs through your edge trimmer. Once we got that crispy tape line, I'm going to sand the sides of my tumbler using an 80 grit sanding block, again avoiding the bottom and that tape line we created earlier. And then I'm going to wipe it clean with some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel. After prep work, I base painted my tumbler, keeping that tape line that we created intact. And I'm applying my glitter today using the epoxy method. If I was applying my glitter with Mod Podge, the steps for this process would be the same. Same with like just a vinyl wrap design or whatever it is that I'm working on. Typically these first few steps will always be the same. And remember that this video is not about the design, it's about how I'm finishing my bottom. So I'm gonna breeze right through the design parts. This is just a basic ombre that I'm doing here, and if you're struggling with your ombre, I did a ton of glitter ombre tutorials back in the day. I'm happy to link those in the description box if you'd like to go back to review them. After I'm done glittering my tumbler, I want to remove the tape right away. We don't want any of the epoxy or whatever kind of adhesive you're using for your glitter to dry before we remove this because we risk pulling up some of that paint and glitter. I'm going to let this sit on my rack to dry for a couple hours before moving on to the next step. If we had to seal our glitter, you would definitely want to apply your tape before spraying your sealant, or if you're applying like a quick coat seal or a polyacrylic. And for this tape off, I want to line my tape up right up against where that glitter ends. So we want the tape right up there to the bottom. We don't want to have any sort of gap in case we have some rogue glitter that might come down a little bit into the, I guess you would call it like the gap line or the overlap from where our epoxy will come down onto our stainless steel. We would only do that for this first tape off against the raw glitter. Then I'm going to apply my epoxy. For this first coat over glitter, I'm just using 30 milliliters of epoxy. I would probably use a little bit more if I was working with a larger cup. This is just a 20 ounce. You'll also notice that I'm working in sections. Anytime I'm doing that first coat over glitter that has multiple colors, I try to do one color at a time instead of dragging the epoxy from top to bottom so I don't mess up what I have going on here. Once I'm done applying my epoxy, I'm going to hit it with my torch really quick to pop any bubbles, and then I'm going to take my tape off right away. When I first started, I always taped off the top and bottoms of my cups, and I set a timer for like, 45 minutes to an hour to come back to remove that tape. And what I found is that if I'm working with thinner layers of epoxy like I normally like to do, it's not necessary to wait because that epoxy isn't going to travel too much after we apply it. So just go ahead and take the tape off as soon as you're done. And then I like to get a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol to just clean up that bottom rim in case we had any boo-boos or some of the epoxy seep down underneath or at the seam of our tape line. That first layer has been drying for a little over 2 hours. I did use a fast setting epoxy, so your dry time may vary based on the type and brand that you're using. And I'm ready to apply my second coat. So I'm going to replace the tape there again at that bottom rim. This time when I apply my tape, I'm going to leave a slight gap from the bottom of that glitter line and the very bottom of the rim. So there'll be a little bit of stainless steel showing. Doesn't really matter how much, we just want a slight gap, maybe about like, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch. And we want to leave a little tab there with our tape so it's easy to remove. And for this layer, I think I'm only using about 20 to 30 milliliters of epoxy. And we're just going to apply it like I normally would. After we apply the epoxy and everything's nice and smoothed out, I'm going to hit it with my torch to pop any bubbles. And again, we're going to go ahead and remove the tape right away. And then I will wipe off the bottom of my tumbler if some epoxy accidentally traveled where it shouldn't have. Here's a very close-up of what we should have so far. Everything's looking nice and neat. Don't worry about that leftover paint at the very bottom of my cup. I'm going to address that later. After that second coat has dried, I'm ready to start sanding. If you find that after just 2 coats of epoxy, you feel like you have an excessive amount of sanding to do, go ahead and go straight into a 3rd coat before you start sanding. This will definitely save you some time and energy. And I'm just doing my normal sanding routine around the very top rim. We're exposing a fine line of stainless steel here so that the final coats of our epoxy have something to adhere to. This creates the final seal on the very outer rim rather than the very top rim where it's more vulnerable. I'm also going to sand down any pokey bits hanging out on the side, and we're going to really try to avoid sanding the very bottom rim because it is going to be exposed stainless steel and we don't want to scratch that part. After we're done with our sanding, I'm going to clean this up with some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, and we're ready to move into decals. If you find that it is not smooth enough to put decals on, go into a 3rd coat before you do decals because we don't want anything bumpy that would prevent us from getting a nice, smooth, beautiful decal work. For this design, I'm just using some sticker cals that I got from Banff Custom Creations a while back. I'm not sure if these same ones are still available on her website, but she does have some similar. I will link some down below if I can find them. But I'm just going to arrange these in kind of a simple bouquet swirl pattern. And I'm also going to add a name to this. Once I'm done with my decal work, I'm ready to move into my final coats of epoxy. Before we apply those final coats, I'm going to put my level up against the very bottom of my cup to ensure that it's level on the cup arm. Keep in mind that your turner can be on a level surface, but if the cup isn't level on the cup arm, which happens almost every time for me, you have to make some adjustments to make sure everything's nice and straight. Then I like to hit it with a tack cloth really quick to remove any lint or debris. And now we are applying 30 milliliters of epoxy. Notice for this final coat, I did not tape the bottom off, and I did that on purpose. If you want to tape the bottom off because you aren't confident about this step, go ahead. I just find this easier at the very final step. So I'm applying this like I normally would, avoiding the very bottom. And once I get the sides and everything nice and smoothed out, everything's nice and coated, I kind of run my finger along that bottom area there to make sure that I have nice coverage around that kind of epoxy line under the glitter line. I don't know how to explain that or what to name that, but I'll show you right here in a close-up of what I'm talking about. See here, we're just smoothing around that bottom rim, not necessarily coating the very bottom, just the bottom outer rim, and then smoothing it out again. You don't want to do that ring around the bottom rim without smoothing up the sides. Otherwise, you could have like some lumpy lines in that area, if you know what I mean. If that's ever happened to you, you know exactly what I mean. Okay, so after we get this applied, I'm going to hit it with my torch really quick to pop any bubbles. And then we're going to take some rubbing alcohol in a paper towel again and just clean up that bottom rim really well, really put some pressure on here to make sure that any epoxy that might have like traveled or splattered down there at the bottom is nice and cleaned up. Really want to put some effort into getting that cleaned up. So if you don't feel comfortable about doing this right here, then go ahead and tape off again, as I showed you in the second coat process, okay? But I just find this easier and it creates a nice seamless look in that section. Here's a close-up of exactly what that looks like. I'll also show you how it looks on a different cup with kind of some more contrast and some brighter color. You see that you can't even see the epoxy line. It just blends right down there into the bottom rim. So you don't have to worry about that line getting straight from your tape. It just sort of melts right into that curved bottom, but it's not actually on the bottom. It ends right where my finger is there. Once that final coat is really a final coat and it's perfect and we're happy, I'm going to move on to finishing the very bottom. We're going to take some acetone and a paper towel and remove any excess paint. There shouldn't be any excess epoxy, again, because we wiped it off with the alcohol on the paper towel after our coat. So really we're just getting any paint and debris off here. Here's a close-up of what we have so far. I'm going to mix about 7.5 milliliters of UV resin with some matching glitter. And we don't want to add too much or too little, just enough to fully saturate the resin. I'm using a metallic glitter for this, so I don't feel the need to base paint the little well that we're going to pour this into. But if you were using more of a transparent or like an opal or, you know, whatever kind of glitter, you would want to base paint that little well there either with an acrylic marker or some spray paint or even acrylic paint, chalk paint, whatever you like to use. I think it's really easy just to color it in with an acrylic marker, honestly. But because this is gold and I'm putting it right against silver, I'm not going to base paint. So we're just going to mix that all together. We want to make sure that the saturation is good, but not so much so that we change the consistency of that UV resin too much. Like, we don't want it to be thick or dry looking. And we're going to pour that right into the well of our tumbler. Craft Haven tumblers come with this well already like this. There's nothing we need to alter about the cup to establish this well. They come like that. Some cups you have to like pry out a stamp or something. These ones you don't. They just pretty much all come like this. So we're going to pour that UV resin in, and I'm going to use gravity to kind of, I don't know, pull it side to side so that we fully fill in our little well. If you find that you added too much, you could just scoop some out with your stir stick there and smooth it back out. Then I like to hit it with my torch really quick to pop any bubbles, and then I'll put it under my UV light for about 2 minutes. I'm using a 256 watt UV light. I will link this one that I'm using down below in the description box. And please don't judge me. I'm in the middle of blinging it out and I haven't finished this project yet. Once that's fully cured, here's what we should have so far. Absolutely love the look of this. And I do this because, okay, so many people ask me this. It's easier for me to finish a cup off like this. If you've ever struggled with the bottom finishing out smoothly, if you've ever struggled with, say like a wobbly bottom when you put your cup against the table and it starts to wobble, that can add additional layers of epoxy. It can add additional time. And I just don't have that kind of time. So if the design would lend itself to finishing like this, I will always finish it like this moving forward because it's just easier for me. It also makes for a more durable cup. If the cup gets dropped, I think that it does help a little bit. My cups have dropped with a fully finished bottom and have just as much durability as one that's not been finished on the bottom. So I don't think it makes that big of a difference as far as like longevity and durability. But my personal reasons is that it's just easier for me. Okay. And I like it. So I'm going to keep doing it. But here's some examples of where like I didn't finish the top. Like I left a little bit of a gap there because I messed up on the peekaboo paint. But I did finish the bottom because the design lent itself to that. You know, so it just depends on like the design, the shape of a cup. This cup has a very sharp bottom, so I don't finish the bottom. I leave that ring of stainless steel exposed and just put in a glitter butt like I showed you earlier. The epoxy line for the side of this design ends at that corner. And I make the seal at that corner in the same way that I make the seal at the top when we do our sanding. All right, we expose that fine line of stainless steel, and that's where we bond the seal. I don't go around the corner on those sharp corner cups. Here's one where I just put the seal on the top and I did finish the bottom because the design didn't look right with exposed stainless steel. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you like my video, be sure to give me a big thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.